Nobody is allowed to work on it, their robot, after that 6-week period. They put it into a bag, we got to put a big zip tie on it, sign that we've locked it up and nobody can touch their robot. Until the competition comes around a few weeks later. So at the competition, when we go to competition, we take the robot in the bag, we unbag it, the inspectors look at it, then we can compete. Competition's over, it goes back in the bag, gets relocked until the next competition. Their thinking was, everybody has exactly 6 weeks. There's not going to be any of this stuff where the teams are building a robot over the summer and then they just keep it and then they keep making it better month after month. Everybody has the same limit on the amount of money that they can spend. I believe we can spend something like $3,000 extra parts. Everybody is provided with the same basic parts. We get these great big black boxes full of parts. No assembly instructions at all. They're just parts in a box. So they've leveled the playing field so that the people that go to the competition have pretty much the same chance to be competitive and win. We'll talk more about first. I do need to introduce the other mentors. There is myself, Mr. Edmonds. There's Mr. Davis, who I saw somewhere. Mr. Davis is over there. Mr. Montecucco is right here, and Mrs. Willingham is right there. Okay, the four of us are the mentors for the team. As mentors, we don't really get involved. The purpose of First Robotics is for students to do the work. And it just bugs me. You'll hear me complain bitterly about this when we go to a competition and we see adults working on the robots there. And I've seen adults say, I want you kids to stand back while I do this. I don't want you interfering while I work on the robot. We don't do that here. The adults do not touch the robots here. Unless for some reason student says, quick, help, the robot's about to fall on me. That's the only time we would come in and actually put our hands on the parts. As mentors, our job is in the pre-season to get you ready for that point, and also to make sure you don't design one of those battle bot robots that are against the rules. You know, no lasers are allowed, no chainsaws on the end of arms that are going to go like this on the opponents. We have to prevent that from happening. And we also have to prevent you from going over budget. We get the money together, we control that, and you come to us and say, we need to order a brand new computer. And we look to see how expensive it is, and we say, yes you can, or no you can't. But within those constraints, you guys do the work. You make the designs, you bring it to life, you program it, you test it, and you take it to the competitions, and you drive it around in the competitions. And then you get the rewards when they happen. So that's where we are with the mentors. I need to introduce the seniors as well. This is Cody Ballinger, senior member, 4 years on the team. Nick Fournier, where are you? Nick's back there. And Liam. We have 3 seniors on the team this year. Those guys have been doing this for 4 years. It's their shining moment. It's their year, so to speak. So we look to them for leadership. Those 6 weeks where we're building, from January to the middle of February, we are a team. We are a varsity team. You can earn your varsity letter here, Dawson Clark High School letter, for robotics. At the competitions, we are a team. We are a varsity team. The rest of the time, we are basically a club. We will do a lot of fun stuff. We will do a lot of preparation stuff to get ready for the competition season, but we are basically a club. So there will be leadership positions that you'll be able to vote on for the club. When the team comes around, the team captain is going to be selected by the mentors. But for the rest of the year, there's going to be a club setup. All right? And we'll do other activities, which I can talk about now. Yeah, we've got stuff coming up this weekend. We're going to be at Valley Fest out at the Center Point. Is that what it's called? Yes. Down there on Saturday, I believe. We take our robots that we have. We go to the con for the robots. You've probably seen that. I think we've got something scheduled for homecoming. Nick's actually going to talk about a mini robot competition. And then we were the unsung heroes of Rubber Chicken last year. We didn't get the acknowledgement that we should have. But Mr. Davis took the robot out there and had the robot dancing out on the basketball court. And I think the judges were pretty
We looked down with that last year.
Yeah.
You guys, that was awesome.
Yeah. So we're going to be even more involved this year in Rubber Chicken. All right. Why should you do this? Because that's what you're here for. First of all, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, maybe except for those 6 weeks. Those 6 weeks are pretty stressful. 6 weeks is not a lot of time to design, build a competition robot. And we're going up against some heavy hitters. Boeing has a team, Microsoft has a team. We're going up against some real big names out there. There are other schools where they are just technology schools. They're not a public high school. All they do is build robots for 4 years, 8 hours a day. That's what they do. We're going up against them. So it's very stressful to get this done in 6 weeks. Those 6 weeks might not be as much fun. The rest of the time, we do what we can to have as much fun as we can. Great experience, preparation for a technical career. If you even think you're remotely interested in a technical career, you need to be here. Technical career could be engineering, could be tradesman. I was in the military for 20 years, and let me tell you something, I use technology every day in the military. So if you're interested in the military, you need to be here as well. If you're interested in computer programming, you need to be here. This is the top shelf. This is where all the best stuff is, by far. And also scholarship money. I know some of you, that's a long ways off. But your college applications, you can say that you were on a robotics team for 4 years. That's going to look pretty darn impressive. And Mr. Monty might have a chance to talk about the millions of dollars that are available for scholarships. We're going to be more aggressive getting scholarships for our students. Let's see. What you can do as a first-year member, well, we do design and build expensive robots. You'll also get the chance to drive them. They're remote controlled, or they can be what's called autonomous, where they just run off of sensors. You get a chance to make the school look good. Lewis and Clark was the first school in District 81 to have a robotics team. And now there are 5 or 6 this year. And there weren't any for several years. We were the only one, and then the others got started. And I won't even bother trying to hide it. I'm doing everything I can to establish Lewis and Clark High School a reputation for Lewis and Clark High School being an engineering school. This is the place where students will come if they want to go into a technical career. We are promoting ourselves as an engineering school in a lot of different ways. If you're interested in fundraising, if you like playing with 3D printer, because we just got one, that 3D printer is for the engineering class and for the robotics team. That's it. If you're interested in writing a business plan, if you're interested in website development, we have our own website, and Mr. Ballinger probably will talk about that. He's done a great job of that over the summer. And again, if you're interested in programming, this is really the place for you to be. Because you'll be writing a computer program that drives a robot. How cool is that? Seriously. Let's see. I think that's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Cody for a couple minutes about training that's coming up.
All right, so everyone that wants to be on the team is going to have to go to one of each of the trainings. We're going to have a training for the electronics, for the structures, for, what else is there? The programming, safety, definitely safety.
Game setup.
Game setups and strategy. And what?
CAD.
CAD. Or are we going to use SolidWorks or CAD?
Computer aided design.
SolidWorks is CAD.
I think it's what we need to kind of
And anyone that wants to help with the website, I've got a few things that I need help with, like finding out information and typing it up. So when the meeting's over, if you just want to come over to me, give me your name, and we can get started on getting that done. Monty,
My turn?
your turn.
So I'm Monty, and I'm trying to assist Ms. Willingham, Mr. Edmonds, and Mr. Davis because I can't actually build a bot. So I'm more the fundraising person, and there's going to be a $50 fee for all members to be part of the robot team. At the same time, over the next 3-4 weeks as we meet, we got to come up with ideas so that you can raise that money so you don't just have to pay it out of pocket. At the same time, if you want to pay it out of pocket, that's cool, then you don't have to do as much fundraising. It's expensive to operate the team. Mr. Edmonds has actually had to pay some of these fees out of his pocket in the past years. What's the entry fee, Mr. Edmonds, for those?
$5,000 gets you 2 competitions, and then another $4,000 for the regional championship.
So there's $9,000 just in competitions, plus as you build the bot, you see the fees that go into that. So we do need help raising money. So that's more my field. Those of you that, I don't know if I really want to participate because I don't know how to do the electronic part and build it. As the team gets bigger, as you see all these people, we need help with business plans, fundraising plans, the financial part, the historian part. So there's lots of opportunity, even if you're not an electrical engineer type, to help build it. So I think that's all I have for today. Mr. Dick.
So I am starting a mini-bot competition, and it's actually my senior project. So for right now, we don't really know what's going to go on with it. I'm building the game pretty much as we speak. The kickoff will most likely be sometime in October, and the build season will be in November, which, if we have a month to build it, it'll put the competition in December. For now, we're looking at having prizes, possibly based on the number of teams that we get to work, but every team has to consist of at least one new member, so one of you will have to be on the team. Hopefully we'll be able to...
Thomas Wilson Vike, please come to the student office. Thomas Wilson Vike to the student office.
Hopefully we'll be able to connect with more schools to get even more teams over here so that we can have a bigger grand prize. And as far as building the bot, we'll probably only use NXT because teams last year were using Tetrix, which is a different form of kits that we can use. But other schools may not have the same amount of kits as us, so we'll probably only be using the Simple Robotics NXT kits. And that's pretty much basically all I have here. So,
Do you need to sign up by?
sign up. Start building your teams now and sign up early October. By early October.
So there's like 2 weeks to figure out if you want to do the competition.
Yeah.
I handed out, I hope I got everybody that's interested. You should have 2 sheets. First of all, rather than sit up here and talk to you about all this stuff, it's in writing so you can see this. I'll get you that. And the other sheet is the new member sign up. This has to be approved by your parents. The reason for that is you'll be working with power tools. Some really dangerous power tools, including welding equipment and stuff like that. And your parents have to know about that and be okay with it before we do it. So deadline for this is before the training starts. Can we say when the trainings were going to start?
I'd like to start them soon.
Like the first week of October is what we did last year.
Yeah.
We started the trainings 2 per week during the first week of October. And because of the trainings, you'll have your hands on the equipment. You need to have this to us by then. Just this one, the sign-up sheet. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody else? Yes.
Oh, a lot going on. We have every Wednesday in here we have a meeting. So if you attend those, you'll be updated on what we have done over the week. That's...
You guys have anything else?
The only stressing, I think, is Valley Fest for Saturday, but no, go.
All right.
Do your thing.
So I want to give you guys a couple of next steps. If you're new, you probably don't really know how the system goes. So here's the kind of things you should be thinking about next steps. One, you just mentioned it, good job. Every Wednesday at lunch, you do not have to pay the $50 fee until January. So even if you're new, you're not really sure, you guys are more than welcome to come every Wednesday. We'll update you, let you know how things are going. For those of you guys who want to see what this robot looks like in action, the one we built last year, it will be this Saturday. Saturday from 5 to 8
Yes.
at Centerpoint. If you're a new member, you won't be a team member, but you're more than welcome to go to this event. And not only is it our robot, I think there's some other robots from other schools, right?
Yes.
So you can get an idea of what it is we're building. So if you're still just trying to feel it out, Saturday 5 to 8 at a place called Centerpoint. It's out in the valley near the Valley YMCA. If you Google it, you guys will be able to find it. More than welcome to go. And then you want to be planning, for those of you guys who think this is something you want to do this year, to go to the trainings. Okay, those are the 3 things. Wednesday meetings. Saturday is completely optional if you want to. But these trainings, they are mandatory before you can make our team. So if you want to really go for this year, you need to plan on starting in early October, 1 or 2 times a week after school. We're going to have a training. They're usually a half hour long, maybe an hour if you ask questions. But you have to have those trainings done before you can make the team. The reason is, a lot of sports you guys already know the rules to when you try out for the sports team. This is kind of a new thing. We need to make sure you guys know the safety, you know the rules, you know what kind of programming we're doing. We have to let you know all that stuff before we can invite you to be on the team in January. So make this a priority. Yeah.
How many trainings do you have to go to?
Last year there were 4. This year there may be 5 or 6.
One extra for welding.
Yeah, at least 4.
At least 4. There could be 5 or 6. And then as you guys get a little closer, again, you don't have to know by now, January to February is our big build time. If you're someone who skis every single weekend, this would be a really hard team to be on. If you play a winter sport, it can be done. It's difficult. So you need to ask yourself as you get closer to January and February, do you want to have a really busy club, or that's when our team starts? Or if you're kind of a winter sportsy kind of person, you're not going to be around school much, well, you're more than welcome to come hang out at Wednesday meetings, but it's going to make it really hard to be on the team. So you don't have to figure this out today, but I just want to have that on your radar. If someone says, hey, you want to join the ski team? It's going to be hard to join a ski team and the robotics team. That's very difficult. Okay? Do you guys have any questions as far as new members for next steps?
If we're seniors, can we still join?
Yes, good question. Seniors, absolutely welcome. You have to go through the same tryouts, everyone, freshmen, sophomore, junior, and seniors. If you're a new member, you all go through the same tryouts. You all have the same training, but you're more than welcome to. Yes?
What are the tryouts?
The tryouts are mostly based on hours. So once the build season starts, we'll talk about it more, but in January, we have people come in and start working on the robot, and our tryout is really, we can only have, it's 8 people, right, Mr. Evans?
That's correct.
We can only have 8 new members a year. We have some people last year who came, they didn't quite make the team. They're going to try again this year. But since we can only have 8 a year, we take the top 8 hours. So you can come in for 5 or 10 hours, but you probably will make the team if you do. If you come in for 50, you'll probably make the team.
And I want to add on to his, even if you aren't one of those 8 members that makes a team, you can still come to meetings and be part of it. You just won't be able to be part of the decision-making process.
And I have something to add on that as well. The issue is the quality of the time you spend. So for veterans as well, we made a couple of changes to that sheet that the new members had. The first change is this. The mentors agree that you spend quality time working with a team that will determine how many hours that's equivalent to. And we'll work those hours. Because there was a girl on the team named Lane Carter from 4 years, she graduated last year. She went to one competition as a freshman, and then she never came to build a robot after that. But she was on the team because her and her family raised more money for us than you can imagine. They put together 2 huge fundraisers. She never came to the meetings or anything like that, but she wanted to be part of the team's fundraiser. So we've changed the rules so that we can award quality hours. The mentors can decide that, even if you're not in the workshop. Same thing's true for Nick. He was downstairs working on CAD. He was down in the computer lab working on SolidWorks, hour. Not actually in the workshop up here. He got credit for that. The second change is what I call the Elliot rule. Elliot, are you in here?
He's gone.
He was here.
You know it's bad when you have a rule named after you. Veterans, it used to be that all you needed was 30 hours in the first 3 weeks to retain your membership. Now you need 10 hours per week or 60 hours by the end of the build season to retain your position on the team. Because Elliot, God bless him, got 30 hours by 3 weeks, didn't see him the rest of the build season. Not once did he come back in. And he got exactly 30.0 hours. So now there's a new rule called the Elliot rule. 10 hours per week or 60 hours by the end of the build season to retain your position. That's for veterans only. All right? Thank you.
All right, and I know that seem like an intimidating numbers right now. Remember, you're not putting 60 hours in a day or even in 1 week. We're just asking that you guys have a serious commitment throughout the build season. And once we start, you'll see people are here till 10 o'clock at night, pretty regularly. You don't have to be, but it's common to be there. And if they're here till 10 o'clock at night working on the robot and you leave every day at 3:30, you're just not going to know as much as they do. So that's why we value the hours, so that you're here part of the process, as opposed to coming in every day and saying, what'd you guys do? Other questions?
In the build season, when's the earliest we can be here?
In the build season. You mean as far as working on the robot?
Yeah, working on the robot.
We start right after school. There have been times where people have done things in the mornings. That's more of a case-by-case basis. As a general rule, we start right after school. People get here 2:30 or 3, maybe go grab some food, come in at 3, and then we work until we got nothing else we can do that night.
Just as an added side note, a lot of times we came and worked on the weekends, which really helped out because you put in 10 hours that day, that's your entire week. So if you can't come after school, sometimes you can come on the weekend, and sometimes you come in at 8 a.m. and start working. So,
That's true. We don't want you to neglect your homework because you're on our team. So if you guys have a tough time during the week, we understand that. But we do things to make up for it. And it's all optional. We will never tell you, you have to be there tomorrow. This is your guys' deal. But if you're not there, it is very likely someone else will take over and do some of the work for you, and you'll get lost. Okay, so there's a lot of personal responsibility. Other questions? Yeah. Trainings will start first week of October. So next Wednesday, can we do that by next Wednesday? Have a schedule for us? All right, so we'll have a schedule for you guys by next Wednesday. Plan on being here every Wednesday to get caught up on this stuff.
We meet in this room, but we do our work in 317, so you're welcome to go down there and take a look at it anytime you want to check out brand new workshop that we're building this summer. Into the hall, and the last one before the stairs, last door before the stairs. Feel free to look in there, it's amazing what the school gave us over the summer. We have
That's
a real
true.
workshop now.
All right, and I'll just throw this on here. So they said Edmonds is in this room, 307. Did I spell it right?
Yep.
Davis, I am in, I just made it, 317. 317. Monty is in,
Yeah, put 319.
319. And Willingham, if you guys have any questions at any point, Willingham's in 333.
Yep.
Come talk to one of us. We're all on this floor. We're kind of spread out, but we all know what's going on, so we can help you guys out. Yes?
When do you have to start putting in hours?
We start putting in hours officially in the build season of January. Up until January, we're a club. We'll have meetings, we'll have events, we're going to have some fun stuff. We're going to have a movie night in December. I don't know if I told you guys that yet.
I was thinking we could have a game night soon too.
Okay, we might even have a game night. So we're going to do a lot of fun stuff, but none of that is counting for your hours. Your official hours start as soon as we get back from Christmas break. Okay? So Christmas break through the middle of February. That's why these 2 months are our big months. All right, with that, meeting is adjourned. Have a good one, guys. All right. Hey, hold on really quick, guys. Just that second.
All right, who would like to help with the website?
All right.
Anyone else?
You guys can take off, but if you want to help with the website, talk to Willingham.
They're still working on it.